Ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. The RSI Galaxy has, I guess, officially being announced. It's going to be up at the RSI event on Saturday. But here we have Mark Gibson, Senior Vehicle System Designer, telling us all about it. Say goodbye to your Constellation. Sad to see the Constellation go. I'm joking. You can keep it. But the new ship looks awesome. Here's a great shot of the Corsair obliterating an Idris. John Crew telling us more about the ship now. Actually, let's go right to the good stuff, and that is right over there. They're showing us a cutout. So right away, a lot bigger than what I thought it would be. So we see that the cockpit has 4 people in it. Now, I thought the cockpit would have the same layout as the Constellation, pilot, co-pilot either side. But it seems to me that the pilot is sitting in the middle on an elevator platform. In front of him is, I don't know who that guy, what he'll do, but one guy is an engineer, one guy probably turret control. I don't know what the 4th guy will do. We'll have to see, but definitely a lot bigger than what I thought it would be. Moving out from the cockpit, we have what will be the elevator to your right and your, I'm going to guess, weapon and armor storage to your left. Walking further out, we'll have a pool table on your left, and we'll have the dining area with a kitchenette on your right. Beyond that, we see 1, 2, 3, 4 crew quarters. The captain's quarters right in front of you. Here's an office and a desk. I think we see 5. A crew of 6 most likely in this, and you'll need it because the ship does a lot of stuff and it is modular, which makes you wonder what Zyla was going on about, because he mentioned he was very disappointed that certain information got out, that information might not be true. And it turns out that I guess he was referring to the cutter not having modularity, because this ship does have the modularity. The huge section you see over there in the middle is the cargo area. That's a lot of space for cargo. I don't know what the exact stats will be, but it's going to be big. And right behind that, you see the hangar. You can happily fit a Pisces, maybe squeeze 2 Pisces in the back of that. I think you can. This is going to be a big ship. Taking a look at some glamour shots. This is the refinery version of the ship. You can tell because it has those tractor beams pulling up the saddlebags from the prospector. So if you're going out for long-term exploration or you need to refine certain materials yourself, most likely fuel, this seems to be the ship they want you to consider doing that in. Here's a great shot from the back showing that the Pisces happily fits inside. I like this type of hangar compared to, say, the 890 jump, where you have to come down into it. How many times have you opened up your hangar for a friend and they slam into it, destroying their ship and yours in the process? I feel this is a lot easier for entrance and exits of other craft. So again, showing the size of that, definitely very generous with room. Now the little glamour shot over there showing the Stark lines. It's so pretty. But I say that to all the new ships. But I do like the sharp pointedness of it. And here we have the paint job. So this one speaks to me. I like the contrast between the gray and the white. It kind of shows the different layers of the ship, where the other one kind of all blends it together. So of the 2 paint jobs we know we're getting, I'm kind of gravitating towards this. Unless they come out with a black and gold, then I'll have to consider that one. But definitely, I'm a fan of the contrasting colors here of the gray and white. Here we go with some beautiful interior concept art. So we see, and I mentioned the pool table too. There it is. Maybe one day those pool tables will be functional. Shouldn't be too difficult to do, right? And we see a nice clean table over there with a kitchenette on the, well, my camera's right over there. I like the clean lines. I'm definitely liking where RSI has gone with their interiors, and interesting color choice. They went with the blue. It's very calming, but definitely clean, crisp. Not very different from Origin, but not as gaudy. I mean, we don't have gold inlay marble or anything, but I'm liking it a lot. I'm liking the interior design. Good job, interior art concept artists, on where you're going with this. It's definitely speaking to me. Next shot just shows the cockpit. So again, much bigger than I expected it. But what we see in the center and the top over there is the pilot, kind of elevated, co-pilot either side. And if you can kind of just see the hat of some guy on the top right over there. I'm not sure exactly what his purpose will be, engineering, maybe cargo, But room for 4 on the cockpit, which makes me feel this will be a tough ship to solo, but I'm up for the challenge. Here we have the captain's quarters. I would love for there to be a use for the captain's quarters. Will the terminal be used for something? Does it need to be used for something you can't do on your Mobi-Glass? Because I love the idea, the role-playing purpose of it. But if there was an actual purpose, like you have to go there for communication or something, then yes, it really adds to it. So I hope that captain's quarters do serve some function other than just being there as placeholders. Maybe you just want to put your stuff on the desk to make it look cluttered, much like my desk in real life. Maybe, but I do hope they come along with something for that. But I do like, look at that desk. I want a replica of that. That is the perfect desk for me, kind of U-shaped, screen in the middle. If I was going to recreate something out of this game, it'll be that desk right over there. Another shot of the hangar here, so very easily fits any number of ships. You can see how much space there is up there, and I see a guy at the top. I wonder what his duties will be. Maybe for the cargo refactor, he's handling all that, which brings us to the cargo section of the module, I guess the module cargo section. And notice those arms going up across the top. Now, with the cargo refactor coming in, this is what that guy at top is most likely doing. That's kind of a mini game where you're playing Tetris with all the cargo containers you're going to bring in there. Those are magnetic kind of clamps that will move cargo around. Very cool, and I'm dying to see that all come into place very soon. And here we have the medical module. So right away, what they mentioned is going to be several tier beds. So I'm assuming those are tier 3 at the top there, tier 2 beds on the sides, and there's one more bed over there. Now, I'd like to put my hands together and pray that it's a tier 1 where you can respawn, but unlikely. It's very likely that we will only see a tier 1 bed on the Endeavor. But if they ever do decide to put a tier 1 bed where you can respawn, that will be pretty good. I'm not going to hold my breath for it, but most likely a bunch of tier 2 beds. And lots of room to actually bring up patients from the center over there they mentioned. So very cool. I'm dying to see this in action. Couple more interior concept shots here. Now this is the refinery module. Again, nice. I like it. I guess those boxes get spit out over there. Going to move them around. It's concept art, but I mean, this is basically in-game, I'm assuming. The actual images, not the gameplay itself, but they've most likely created this in the game for these shots. Beautiful shot here of the cargo module. Now, as I mentioned before, those magnetic clamps you see on the top there, here we have one in action moving a very large container, so we know it'll handle at least that size container, giving you a clue as to how big the interior of this is. The cargo refactor cannot come soon enough. I'm really excited to get in there. I hope it's not one of those things where it's all exciting the first time you do it, like, yay, I'm moving things around like Tetris, but then by the 10th time you're bored of it already. Let's hope it doesn't go there. And here we have a beautiful shot of the medical module. Now, it seems to me that there'll be room for both cargo and medical at the same time, assuming those are cargo containers on the pad there. But you're essentially a medical ship when you put this in, so very cool and very useful, especially in large groups. When there's combat involved, you do need a place to heal up, and this seems to be a ship which will do that very nicely. So judging from this video here, we know the exterior hull is at least done and beyond gray box because we're looking at it. That's pretty much in-game itself. Here we have a beautiful shot. Let's pause over there. You can appreciate the size difference between this and the Constellation. Now you can tell that this was slapped together just to show us a reference because the engine flames there are still on, even though I think the engine's supposed to be off. But they're showing you basically size comparison, and that is a large pad it's sitting on. It's not too far off from the Constellation. I mean, it is longer, but definitely an interesting potential upgrade for Constellation owners to this. I hate to see the Constellation go. It's been a granddaddy. It's one of the first ships, if not the first ship in Star Citizen. But this is definitely a good step upwards if you're bored of that and want something a bit bigger. Still, Constellation, awesome ship. But yeah, that speaks to me. I just love the design of this thing. Some more glamour shots, and yeah, it's beautiful. All right. I think that wraps up everything on the RSI Galaxy. We will know more very soon. The last question I have is essentially price. Is it possible base model comes in around 500, but then modules come in like 200, 250? They may go that way about it. I see a lot of people being perfectly happy with just the cargo module on that alone. For me personally, the cargo variant, but then taking the medical Pisces along with that, done deal. It covers all the bases I need. So with that, ladies and gents, let me know your thoughts on the RSI Galaxy. Now we have more information. Comments below appreciated. If you like my content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, you animals. Catch you in the next one.